teens and adults. We're going to have a session where we're going to talk about beginning driving questions, young driver questions. Our learning objective is about young drivers. I try to go live as much as possible, and this is your chance to ask a state certified instructor questions. I'm located in the Midwest. I'm certified in the United States. I have many viewers across the world, a lot in the UK, a lot in the Middle East. I want you to enjoy this, so you need to put in your questions and our learning target. So we're going to first talk about some of the things that young drivers do. First, I'm going to read some information as you guys put into questions. New driver advice or beginning driver advice. A lot of beginning drivers do a lot of light driving at first. You drive in your neighborhood because you don't feel secure enough to get on the street. You drive from your home to school because you don't have directions yet. You can't read street signs. You can read, but you can't read cardinal directions. Next, you need to be watching your mom and dad as they drive. You need to be asking questions because of the last 14, 15, or 16 years you've been sitting in the back seat. You need to sit in the front. You need to ask questions. When I meet your guardian, I will introduce myself. I will ask them questions. This gives me an idea of who you are and what you're about. Next, continue to study yield and right of way. Intersections are the most dangerous place. And if you don't understand this and you feel comfortable running lights, you will get killed. You will get hit. You will hit a pedestrian because drivers get careless and they try to make that red light, make that yellow light. And if you're running your yellow light and they're running their almost red light, you're going to get hit and it's going to be an accident. And remember, your age group, that 14-9 to about 25, you have the most accidents. So this is why your age group has the highest insurance. We know from AAA research and State Farm research that males tend to be more aggressive. They drive faster. They take more chances. And teens take more chances. So if you can make it for the next 10 years, you're probably going to be a good driver and probably live a long time, because the next 10 years of your life, the chances if you're dying are because of an accident. We check our tread depth by using a quarter. Please think of another question we already went over. So we check our tread depth by using a quarter. You stick your quarter into the tread, and if you can see the top of Lincoln's head, you're okay. We talked about the Dutch reach, where you reach over your body with your right hand to turn your body to open the door. So please use a different question. I'm going to challenge you to dig deep. This is how we're going to learn. And if you want to be a good driver, you got to go deep in those questions. So I'm challenging you to go deep because you have a certified professional who's very passionate about driving, who is going to be patient with you, who's going to explain things to you. And if you get it wrong, I want you to figure out what you did wrong. So I look forward to driving you and I look forward to answering your questions. So let's go ahead and put some of these questions in. Is it okay when you take a religious ceremony or something? Religion is a personal thing, right? We still have the flag in the classroom, right? We love America, right? Religion is a very deep personal thing. I'm not one to tell you what you can and cannot do. But if your church serves alcohol and you get ready to drive and you crash, I'm going to sue the church. I'm going to sue the pastor because you are intoxicated. So you have to use common sense. You can't hide behind an American flag or God saying, well, I had too much at church. So you understand what I'm saying? So driving takes personal responsibility. Happy Wednesday. Driving takes personal responsibility. And if you know, it's communion where you're going to drink a little wine and have a little piece of bread, but you have 10 little cups, you're going to be lit. And then you're going to be driving. And then you're going to get a ticket. And then, oh my God, that's Michael. He got arrested. Oh my God. Yeah, Michael just ran a real sign and hit a kid. You understand what I'm saying? So that personal, same thing with me as an instructor. Let's pretend I'm driving Saturday. I go out Friday night. I toast it up. But I'm driving Saturday morning. I still have the alcohol in my body. That's not smart. So you got to use common sense. Yes, road rage is considered a risk. I just cut you off, Samantha. I just cut you off, Paige. I just cut you off, Carter, and I slam my brakes. And you decide to chase me because he can't do that to me. We're engaging in road rage. Or Oliver's going too slow. So I'm going to pass him on the right and then slam my brakes. That's what a driver did to us the other day. Because US beginning drivers will trigger drivers who aren't patient. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You really need to listen to your instructor. But some of you won't do that because you think you know everything. But you don't. And driving will expose you. This is why this is one of the most important moments in your life. And I don't understand why you don't ask more questions because it's a huge personal responsibility. Why don't we ever veer for a deer? Deer are across the country. If you swerve and lose control and hit oncoming traffic, it's your fault. You just killed someone in a car. You just put your car in the ditch. You just rolled your car over. I have a dog too. Her name is Lola. She's a lab. What is your dog's name or cat's name? Type it in. I'm getting to the point. What is your dog or cat's name? Type it in. My dog is named Lola. She's a yellow lab. When my daughter comes home, she gets excited. I saw cars coming down the street. I did not let her out. She'll run out in the street. I have to be her protector. When you have a pet, they are away from their mom and dad. They rely on us to feed them, take them to the doctor, protect them, walk them with a leash. Because if your dog bites someone, they're going to take your dog away. And people are so happy. Human life is worth more than animal life. We don't veer for the deer. You want to hit it head on and squeeze your brakes. Those of you who don't believe me, I will show you a state police video where they instruct you to do that. So we don't veer for the deer. Will cause an accident. And also the deer can come inside the car. A state trooper got killed a few years ago because the deer came in through the windshield. Moss, yes.
Could I use the bathroom?
You got it. Go ahead. So let's continue. So is drinking during ceremonies? Let's go back to that. People overindulge. Let's pretend I have a pizza party. You can have as much pizza as you want. Some of you will eat 10 pieces, and then you'll get sick and throw up. Some of you will eat one. Human nature. At religious ceremonies, you have to use common sense. If you're not driving, you consume just like Carter. He's sipping. Carter, we know you're drinking water. So you got to use common sense. And if you don't have common sense, then it's going to be dangerous. Example, high schoolers, seniors are out of school. It's going to be senior parties. You're going to have adults who are going to be serving alcohol at parties. If one of those teens dies or one of those teens drive, the family will be held accountable. Oh, it's okay. My mom and dad will let you drink. I'm going to get a lawyer. I'm going to take the house. I'm going to take your parents' job, college fund. People are not responsible. You'll find out. What is the difference between pillars? A pillar holds in your windshield. All of you should know what a windshield is, your front windshield. The A pillars are the side pillars that holds the windshield in, that separates the windshield from your front and passenger side windows when you roll them down. That is the A pillar. I love cars. I can't wait to drive you. So the A pillar will create a visual obstruction. Everything is good. How you doing? How can you use a quarter? You stick the quarter inside the tread, just like your shoe. These are a special shoe. You can see this. Let's pretend this shoe is your tread. There's a little tread in here. Hey, I have a quarter. Here's my quarter. Here's my tread. I stick the quarter in the tread. Hold on. I stick the quarter in the tread. The shoes are worn out. Just like, man, I love examples. So that's how. I should have been a science teacher. I did science for 2 semesters. I loved it. We talked about the A pillar. How can you tell your mirrors are properly adjusted? You'll see a little bit of the side of the car. Your center mirror, you'll see the rear window. Let's go back to these shoes. These shoes are very comfortable. They're in the shape of your foot. They're extremely comfortable. Yes. And just like this, some tires are very comfortable on the road. Some tires are very loud. Truck tires. You hear that loud noise. Those treads are for off-road. But you see guys and ladies in those monster trucks with off-road tires. They have a lot of tread noise. So some tires are very quiet. Some tires are very loud. These are very good shoes. Good one. When driving a car, where do you expect your blind spot to be? There are 4. On the left side of your car, on the right side of your car, behind your car, and in front of your car. Example, you're pulling up from your parents' driveway. You should literally raise up off of your front seat and look over your hood because your neighbor's kid's little toy could be there. The little kid could be there. You have to look. What do you do when someone road rages you? You stay in the public domain. You don't go home. You go into a major area with a lot of security cameras because people will follow you. I'm going to get you. You cut me off. I'm going to fix you. I'm going to get you. Because people take it personal. They take it as a personal attack on themselves. So you want to stay in the public area, you should be checking that red truck is still following me. You drove 10 miles. That red truck is still following me. Someone is following you. Don't go home. When you're pulled over and have alcohol for religious reasons, can you tell the officer and get out of it? You can't hide behind the religious or governmental veil. You are drunk over 0.08 and you are going to say, I came from a religious ceremony. The officer will laugh in your face. You are still under the influence and you hit someone. Do you think their family is really going to care that you came from a religious ceremony? No. What is the swerving maneuver? May stop the vehicle on its own. The computers do control. Let's pretend you were looking at your cat video in the car. And you looked up, you almost hit a car. Some cars have sensors in the front bumper, and it may stop you. It may go, and then the brakes stop. What should you do if there's a full intersection in front of you and your light is green? You want to wait. It is called grid lock. Like in the hallway at school, when there's a fight, there's gridlock. Everyone wants to see, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And then the principal's running down the hallway. What are you doing? I can't get through. Move, move, move. Gridlock. You wait. You don't go into the intersection and contribute to the gridlock. What would you do if you hit your deer? I hit the deer. Hopefully it doesn't come in the car. Because I teach driver's education, it's not if, it's when. We will hit a deer one day because I drive more mileage with beginning drivers like you, and it's a matter of time before we hit a deer. So if you're driving in the evening, hey, this is the time that deer come out. Or if we're driving in the morning, hey, this is the time that deer come out. We live in a wooded area, and deer come out anytime, day or night. Where do you find the temperature light? And when do you use your high beam and low beams? The temperature light is on your dashboard. It might be a red flashing exclamation point. It might be a red flashing boat that's red because red catches our attention. Yes, I am an actor. I act every day in life. What do you do? How do you use your low beams? There's a switch on your blinker. You push it out, that turns on your high beams. You push it in, that turns them off. All of you as beginning drivers, when you're making turns and use your blinker, all of you are panicking. You push the blinker. You push the blinker and that turns on the brights. So this is why drivers get mad at us. What is ABS? Anti-lock brake system. The computer will sense a skid. You jam the brakes, and the computers will pulsate the brake pads on the rotors. At what point, what is the point of one-way streets? One-way streets facilitate a smoother flow of traffic out of Mexico City, Mexico, out of downtown Detroit, Michigan, out of Houston, Texas, out of Los Angeles, California. One-way streets move traffic out of areas faster. Part of me is a civil engineer. So that's what one-way streets do. How much distance you should keep between you and a car length for every 10 miles an hour. If you're going 30, 3 car lengths. If you're going 40, 4 car lengths. It's a car length for every 10 miles an hour. That the car can swerve if it crashes in imminent. No, the car won't swerve. That means death. Your car won't swerve because that is a dangerous maneuver. Your car will never swerve. It won't swerve. It will stop straight, but it won't swerve. Imagine if a car swerved to the left into oncoming traffic. Oh, it's not my fault the car swerved. Or if the car swerved to the right, you went over the guardrail over the bridge. The car won't swerve. And we'll look at some of the self-driving and smart technology. If you are under the age of 21 and drink a bit and you're walking home, yes, you still can get charged. Don't you love laws? Because you're intoxicated in public. That's a law. That's not good for the public good. You might start knocking down mailboxes in your neighborhood. And everyone has the Ring doorbell, and they know, yeah, that's Shaniqua, that's John, that's Paige. I'm gonna put the video on Facebook, and then I'm gonna call the sheriff. And the sheriff is gonna be at the end of the block with no lights on. They're gonna videotape you and laugh, and then they're gonna arrest you as soon as you walk home. Public intoxication. So again, don't get in that situation because people are mischievous. Yes, you will get charged. What does the sun visor have to do with the angle? If the sun, let's pretend this is my sun visor. If I have it down, I can't see. If I flip it up, I can see. It protects you from the sun. That's why it's called a sun visor. I love it. Good question. How many hours of driving does it take to understand? It depends on you, Carter. It depends on if you get in the same car 15, 20 times. Then you get into your mom's car 15 to 20 times. Then you get into your uncle's car 15 to 20 times. Then you, Carter, I love the question. You'll know how the car sounds, how it stops, how it turns, but you have to drive your car a handful of times to learn about it. Love the question. Is there a law to overuse your horn? No. You'll just make people road rage and hate you. The general public. What is the Dutch reach? I already talked about that. You reach over right hand, you reach over your shoulder to open the door. I talked about tread depth. I used the shoe. This shoe is the tread of your tire. This shoe has tread on it. Here's a quarter. I'm going sideways. The shoe is worn out. It's a good example. I don't want to bring a tire in the house, but I might. How often do you check your tread depth? How much do you drive? How fast do you drive? How hard do you stop? The faster you drive, the harder you stop. It wears your brakes and tires down. Your front tires wear out first. They're turning left and right. You should rotate your front tires to the rear, your rear tires to the front to get even wear. Every 3 weeks or a month, you check your tires. You should also look at your tires in the morning. Do they have nails in there? Do they have screws? Are your tires wearing evenly? Are the front outside of the tires wearing faster than the inside? If that's the case, you need a front end alignment. If you've had your car for a long amount of time, do your airbags go bad? No, they do not go bad. They don't go bad. When it's appropriate to accelerate, to not get hit by a car, when you pull out in front of a car, when you have open space, it's not appropriate to accelerate in heavy traffic. Got to accelerate smoothly. How does one mostly efficiently eliminate the blind spot? You look over your shoulder. Blind spot to my left, I look over my left shoulder. Blind spot to the right. You will eliminate it by looking over your shoulder and checking. Love it. What makes it different to drive after consuming alcohol from a religious ceremony? You're still consuming alcohol, whether it's a religious ceremony or not. I think a lot of you are trying to interpret the law, and I love it. The law is very plain. If you consumed alcohol at church, you're still drunk. If you consumed alcohol at a graduation, you're still drunk. If you consume alcohol at a bar, you're still drunk. And if you get caught, you will get a ticket. You'll get arrested. They'll do a field sobriety test. You'll have to blow into a device. So you're still drunk. Good question. What should you do if someone blows a tire? You want to give them room, change a lane, slow down. They could lose control. What's the first thing you should do if you get into an accident? You want to get over to the side of the road, make sure everyone is okay, get all the way off the road, take pictures of your vehicle, their vehicle, take pictures of the license plate of the other person, proof of insurance, registration, because some people don't have insurance. And if someone hits you, they're going to leave the scene of an accident. And then your car is smashed. You have to have a police report to file an insurance claim. I like the questions about the insurance. It doesn't let me talk. Your browser's preventing access. I don't know, Dave. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. I need to update it to Google, but everyone else is talking. Maybe it's a weird situation. We'll figure it out together, Dave. I'm not worried about it. You're a good guy. I see your face. You're good, Dave. Is there a way to prevent the dead pedal? No. The dead pedal is there so you can rest your left foot. All cars have it. Dave, it works. You good? All right. When should you use the sun visor? When it's sunny outside, when you can't see. You're driving for 5 hours. You're driving from here to Texas. You're driving from here to Iowa. If you're going on a really long drive and it's very bright, you might need to use the sun visor. If a deer appears in front of the car and you don't have enough time to stop, what do? You're going to have to hit it. I know, I love animals too. I don't want to calm my dog down. She'll knock me down. But you're going to hit it. And what happens, it usually explodes, or it splits in half, or it might bounce off the car, or it might come through the window. What do you do if there's a car blocking your field of view in oncoming traffic? Slow down and try to find an open lane, because you're going to rear end a car. And it happens really fast. I like the question. You hear my guardian protecting me now. She's barking upstairs. She's barking. What do you do if what do we do if we hit a deer? Okay, first we want to make sure we're okay. We're going to call the tow truck because the car's probably smashed in the front. We're going to call the DNR because they're the ones that are supposed to put the deer out of its misery, because it's a wild animal and it's in pain. So they have to properly, it's the humane thing to do. Two dogs, Maggie, Goose, love it. Love the dogs, love it. Love it. Australian. We almost got an Australian mix before we got ours. We went to the pound. So, because we were going to get a rescue. That was awesome. Subscribe, follow. Bye.